Wow, folks, this is actually a pretty interesting and really good interview, actually. Both, the questions, the platform that's given to Cenk Uygur, as well as the responses that Cenk gives. I'm very excited to show this interview to you guys because I actually found it to be really entertaining. I also cannot, understate the significance and the importance and the effect that Cenk Uygur winning California 25 can have on Congress and our politics in general. Having a progressive firebrand like that in office would be a game changer completely. And so this is really important stuff. And shout out to Chris Cuomo. I never do this, but he actually has given a platform to both Cenk and Anna. Anna even goes on other CNN shows as well. But that's huge, having this kind of a platform. And Cenk's going to come on even more as a candidate. And so, he's got this, sort of name recognition, and more people get to see him and the message gets out. It's very, very awesome. So, we're going to check this out. But first, before we get into it, I have to let you guys know that I'm over on Patreon, patreon.com/theprogressivevoice. On the offhand chance that this video is somehow remains monetized, which will be a miracle from God himself or herself, there's no way that's happening. Okay, this video is going to get demonetized. So, if you can become a patron, there are a lot of benefits over there. But most importantly, we can not worry about this. Okay, I can upload videos like this without worrying whether or not it's going to get monetized. If we hit that goal, we can go from having 5 trillion ads on the videos, which I know there are 5 trillion of them on there. But if we hit the goal, we can go from 5 trillion to like 2. So it's patreon.com/theprogressivevoice. Please go over there and pledge so we don't have to worry about demonetization from videos like this, because there are some bad words in this interview that we're going to be looking at. Some not very monetizer-friendly video words. So please go over to Patreon, patreon.com/theprogressivevoice. With that said, let's jump into it.
Becomes about centrist versus progressive. Let's talk progressive firebrand. Cenk Uygur joins me now. It's good to have you. Cenk is running for Katie Hill's open house seat. We'll talk about that. But first, Warren seeing a little bit of a slip. Sanders pretty much stays in the same place. Buttigieg moving up. Biden stays solid. The analysis is, that's because going too far left, not even close to where you are, by the way, is not the way to get this nomination.
Well, I don't think that makes any sense at all. The reason is you see Sanders moving up, and he's even further left than Warren. The main mistake that I think Elizabeth Warren made, who's a wonderful candidate, but she equivocated on Medicare for All. She didn't mean to, but when she said it's going to be 2 steps and we're going to do the public option first, that cost her a lot of progressive activists.
Medicare for All is dropping in popularity.
Well, I mean, you guys attack it nonstop, and it's totally not. Yeah, the mainstream media does, Jake Tapper does, Washington Post does, and none of it is true.
Jake Tapper is one of the most honorable men.
He's wonderfully honorable, but he's not correct on this issue.
Every Democrat poll says, do I want health care fixed? Yes. Do I want to lose my insurance? No. Do I like Medicare for all?
Chris, that's no. First of all, Medicare for all polls excellent. Second of all, when you guys say you'd lose your insurance, that is terribly wrong.
How?
You have insurance. Even Michael Bennett, who doesn't like
private insurance.
Okay, but you have better insurance. Chris, you've got it. No, not
maybe.
Definitely. I asked Michael Bennett, Senator Michael Bennett, who does not like Medicare for All. He said Medicare for All would be the Cadillac plan. He said, yes, you get everything with Medicare for All. You get better insurance. There's no question about that.
Maybe.
No question.
It's about how you pay for it, how long it takes, and what you can actually sell in Congress. But I take your argument. Now to you. Big mouth? No. So you're running for Katie Hill's seat.
Yes.
First problem, it's purple, that seat.
Yeah.
You are not purple. How do you run for a seat where you're going to get hit with 2 sticks right away? You're not purple, and 2, you're a carpetbagger. You're not from there.
Yep.
Overcome them.
So first of all, I'm going to prove that this mythology that progressives can't win in purple districts is totally wrong. We represent the voters way better. So, for example, strong progressives run uncorrupted. So I'm going to run against bribery. All the corporate campaign contributions are bribes. That's what they are. And you know what? Democrats know that, but Republicans know that as well. That's part of the reason that Trump won. He said, drain the swamp. People hate the corruption, and progressives are clearly against corruption. When the Nancy Pelosi's of the world say, no, and we've got to run as corporate Democrats in purple districts, who are they trying to appeal to? The people in 25th District don't want big corporations running them. They've been screwed by that.
What about the you're not us?
Yes, so I'm going to move to the district, and it's a fair point. Hey, they say you got to come here to represent me. That's right. My wife's a saint. She's got a job near where we live now, but she said, yes, we're willing to move. So I can't wait to go there. It's a wonderful community. I've been all over the district. I love it. Can't wait to move. And you have to think about it this way, Chris. Who do you want? Someone that is going to move in a couple of months and agrees with you completely, or someone who doesn't agree with you at all and happens to be there right now?
All right, let's see if you can sell the people. Now there's going to be character analysis. You're not a commentator anymore. You're a candidate.
See, and I want to really quickly pause it there. He's making a really good point there, as he does literally throughout this entire interview. You know, the idea of, like, they're trying to do this whole thing of, like, oh, you don't live here. And so these corporate D-bags who are, you know, AOC talked about this in her district, right? Where they're, like, these people who think they're super entitled to the seat because they're, like, in the hierarchy. They're the ones in the state senate or whatever, and they're holding, like, the state seats. But who would you rather want? A corporate Democrat or who lives there, or an actual progressive who's going to represent you? And then, to me, that's a pretty easy question.
In the past, that were ugly. You've said they were insensitive and stupid. People say, nah, you're doing it out of convenience now. You said misogynistic things. You want to run as a far-left candidate. They want to protect women's empowerment. You are the enemy.
So, first of all, I wrote that stuff 19 years ago. I deleted it 15 years ago, not because I got caught or because I thought somebody was going to find it. I deleted it because I didn't believe it anymore. So I'm not one of those guys who found Jesus on the way to, oh my God, I got caught. No. I said, this is not me. I was trying to be a stupid, politically incorrect Republican. So I wrote these things that I knew were offensive. And so when I saw it with my eyes again, I was like, no, I'm getting rid of these. The right wing, the alt-right found them and surfaced them 2 years ago. Now, a lot of the Democrats who are part of the Democratic machine go, hey, I like that right-wing tactic. Let me resurface that.
A lot of progressives, they have zero appetite for a man saying anything about women being inherently inferior.
As well they should, because that is totally wrong. The question isn't whether I said that. The question is, did I disavow it? And did I disavow it now that I'm running for office? Hell no, 15 years ago. Chris, I've been on the air now 18 years with the Young Turks. And
again, I want to explain like how good of a job Cenk is doing here, because what he, you have to navigate these questions, and he does a good job here of basically saying those were horrible things that I said, but did I disavow them? I absolutely did, because there were horrible things that I said in the past. So, I saw a tweet from somebody who was supporting, Christy Smith and saying, oh, she just didn't listen to anything Cenk said. She said, oh, Chris Cuomo doesn't care about the fact that he said all these things, when he literally just answered there that it was horrible that he said those things. The fact that he said those things do matter, but what matters more is that he has disavowed them. And so he's doing a really good job of sort of wading these waters.
Anybody argue that I'm not progressive enough? No, I fought for women's rights, minority rights, every kind of person you could find, I have fought for. That's why all of the top progressives back me. And it's because I've proven it. Would millions of progressives across the country, including millions of women, support me if I was that guy? No. Well, they support me because I'm a firebrand on the side of the left, on the side of rights for all of those folks.
Questions will come. You'll have to address them. I hear your argument here. The audience does as well. The other big stick, the name of your show, The Young Turks. There is a suggestion.
I did not, when I first saw this, I did not expect they were going to go all the way to the Armenian genocide, but here we go.
Till very recently, you didn't believe in the Armenian genocide, and that it's not a good faith historical thing, it's a bias. And that the name of the show suggests where you are on it, and that you are basically ignoring genocide.
No, absolutely false. So is it true that I was wrong about that? Again, earlier in my life, yes, I wrote a college paper, not a paper, but an editorial about that. I've disavowed that over and over again, not just now, for year upon year. So it's just not true that it's recent at all. And so why did I believe that when I was younger? Because I grew up Turkish and I only heard one side of the story.
Why didn't you change the name of the show?
So the name of the show has absolutely nothing to do with it. My two co-founders are Jewish. When we got together, they weren't Turkish at all. Young Turks, the literal definition in the dictionary is young progressives looking to overthrow the established system.
But when you Google the Young Turks, you're going to get a history of that term. It's like why now Trump and his guys want to call themselves nationalists. When you look at how nationalism has been used, very ugly.
Wait,
Young
Chris,
Turks was used
no,
back in Turkey.
Wait. Are you saying that Rod Stewart? Are you saying that Rod Stewart called the song "Young Turks" because it was an ode to the Armenian genocide? Of course not. When Michael Ovitz did it at CAA, of course not.
Why did you do it as someone who was saying the Armenian genocide wasn't real?
No, but as I explained, I already disavowed that. It had absolutely nothing to do with that. So it was about literal definition, young progressives looking to overthrow the established system. Now, you know our show a little bit.
I know it a lot.
So isn't that nearly a perfect description of what we are?
Absolutely.
So there you go. That's why we named it.
But I'm saying there's a convenience out of it now that's going to be criticized. You're a candidate. You got to answer for it.
But Chris, all of these things, look, I don't come as the accused, I come as the accuser, because all of these are distractions from the issues. They don't want to talk about Medicare for all because I'm the only person in the race that's for Medicare for all. They don't want to talk about the corruption because they take giant corporate PAC money. My Democratic opponent, you know what our average contribution this year has been so far? $2,700. My average contribution is $28. She's got about 130 or so people that contributed to her, or organizations. Only 22 of them appear to be real people. I've got 13,000 real people who
I saw the
contributed to me.
numbers. I'm not questioning them. I'm just saying you're going to put yourself out there. You're going to have to answer for all of it, and that's why I asked you the questions.
All right.
I'll continue to do so.
Cenk2020.com. Okay, we're going to win this race, and we're going to show that progressives are super strong, and we could win anywhere because everyone hates the bribery, and everyone can't stand that corporations have taken over our government. I'm going to fight for those folks in that district, and we're going to win together.
And you are welcome to make the case here, as always.
Thank you, Chris.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
You too.
Very good interview, man. Very, very good interview. I'm thoroughly impressed on both sides, that is. And it's like this, okay? I'm appreciative of Chris Cuomo giving him the platform and asking him these, tough questions, because we need to get that shit out the way early. You know what I'm saying? Like, knock that out now so we can talk about the real issues, as he said. And that was his strongest point that he made there at the end, is that this is all a smoke screen. It's all a smoke screen so that we don't talk about who Christy Smith is. I could not believe that her average donation was $2,700. Now, I've heard of I think it was Steny Hoyer, who had some ridiculous average donation, and he barely got any money from small dollar donations. That's what it looks like. She's like, that's what they don't want to talk about. That's what people don't want to talk about. $2,700. That's a max that you can donate. Her average is a max donation, okay? Jenks is, what do you say, $28 or something like that? Bruh, I mean, that's absolute insanity. That's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about the issues. And so what he's pointing out is this ish is all a smokescreen. And that's the strongest point that he makes there at the end that you see. And he's totally on the money with that. So I'm really happy that Chris Cuomo gave him this platform. I'm also really happy that Chris Cuomo has, he told him, you're welcome to come on whenever to make your case, because that means that Chris is going to keep bringing him on during the race, giving him more, more eyes watching, more attention, that's what you need to win a candidacy, right? So shout out to Chris Cuomo, and shout out to him for asking the tough questions, because you get a chance to just totally down that shit now. And once you get that out of the way now, you can focus on the real issues, because the truth of the matter is, all these smear merchants in the Democratic shill party and the Democratic establishment, which is what they are, by the way, these journalists who are deeply in bed with the DNC and the Democratic Party and the establishment, all these people, like Christy Smith herself is exactly that, okay? She was, it was her turn in line. It's like these people are like waiting in line for their crown, basically. It's complete insanity. And the idea of voting for somebody whose average donation is $2,700 is complete bonkers. Complete and utter bonkers. You'd have to be insane or crazy to do that, okay? Absolutely insane or crazy to do that. But this is very good for Cenk. I really thoroughly enjoyed this interview. I hope that he will get more interviews on the Cuomo show, or whatever it's called, Primetime, I think it's called, something like that. Looks like it's Cuomo Primetime. I hope he gets more of these, and I cannot, again, like I said in the beginning, I cannot understate to you just how significant a Cenk Uygur victory would be. As he said in the beginning, dude, if he's able to win in a purple district, that literally changes the game. That completely is a deal. It's a shatterer. It's an earth shatterer, because it changes the entire game, right? Then this idea and this narrative that in purple districts you need corporate Democrats and basically blue dog Democrats and weak garbage Democrats to win. It's a game changer. That's a game changer. So donate to Cenk. If you're in California 25, go knock on doors, phone bank. I guess you can phone bank even if you're not in CA 25, but make sure to donate to him. Do all that stuff, because I cannot underscore to you folks the significance of a Cenk Uygur CA25 victory. But this is a dope interview. I thoroughly enjoyed this. And other than that, let me know your thoughts on this down below.